Cool. Seems like Boris is getting ready. Hey, Boris, you're muted.
Hello.
Hey, good to see you.
Hey, Amji. How are you?
Good. Now, then I will just ask one questions to Boris, then giving stage to Boris. So Boris, there's one developer asking they need some token to get started. So where is the file set for NEAR? So if you can give that information and going straight forward to your workshop.
Well, since in testnet you will have, but you probably will need mainnet. We will have some codes given to the teams. To be honest, I don't know the how the flow will be, but I will make sure that we post soon on all the channels how to get the codes. You don't need a lot. I think for the whole the hackathon, you probably $1 worth of NEAR is more than enough. So we will make sure I can give you the codes with enough gas to pay for the transaction. So yeah, we will take care of that. At this point, I'm not sure how we can give them, how we can give you the codes, but we will figure out, and probably AMG or Asher, you can help us, spread the word once we figure it out.
Yes, exactly. So regarding this one, also we will include those information on Discord announcement channel and also in the hacker pack. So if you are not signed up for the hackathon yet, please do so that you can get all the invites. Cool. Yep. So I think then, Astrid, we are getting ready for the workshop.
Yes, I believe that we are ready for the workshop now. I can see that, Boris, you've shared your screen.
Yes.
Do you want to get ready and present that?
Yeah. So, okay, well, hello, everyone. I'm Boris Polania. I'm part of the DevHub core team. We do many things, but in this specific workshop, I am as a developer, as a developer relationships. So I will talk about BOS workshop, and we'll talk about a little about the hackathon. So let's start, because I think I have a lot of time, so let's start right away. So just, let's give you an intro for those who doesn't know who BOS is a blockchain operating system. Is basically, we want to create the technical definition is a common layer for browsing and discovering, right? So what this means is a front end layer that where you can deploy your applications. This layer is completely decentralized. So in layman terms, you, instead of deploying your application, your dApp to, I don't know, to Vercel or to Amazon, to whatever, you deploy it to BOS, right? You pay some gas, you pay some NEAR for the storage, but it's completely decentralized, so there is no censorship. Is probably will be less expensive, and you have basically you get all the benefits of this being a decentralized application, right? So the front end can be done in React. The front end can be done in anything you want, right? However you can connect the React component. If you are using Web3 components, like to talk to Ethereum, there are some limitations, but in general terms, the front end runs on NEAR, but you don't have to deal with NEAR per se, right? Beyond just paying for the gas and the fees. The backend, or what you do, what information you put there, or which smart contracts you call is up to you. It doesn't have to be NEAR contracts. It can be Ethereum contracts or Web3 JS compatible contracts. So that's a general idea of BOS. So it's a decentralized front end that you can easily deploy your applications or React applications, and don't have to worry about availability and stuff like that. So this is a little more. I cannot go deep into this because I don't have a lot of time. But this is the tech stack, right? So you basically on the back end, you will have a blockchain, a NEAR, Ethereum. You will have a data platform, and then you have the discovery platform that's BOS. And then you deploy your own components there. You see these components. These black parts are us. These gray parts are your components. It's completely your code, right? And what is a BOS component? So you will create a small application, like very similar, exactly the same as React components, and each one will be focused on a specific part of the application, solving a specific problem or functionality of your application, and then the BOS will compose them into a single working user interface. That's what a BOS component is. I will show you more specific examples. This is more, I just wanted to give an intro, but you will see the code and stuff like that. So this is, now we'll switch to the let's get more code. I will try to put this full screen, so I don't know if people can see this. How do I put window? I don't know how to put this full screen. I always forget the command, but anyway, so I will try to just zoom in. Okay, so this is one example. You see the NEAR social has the homepage component, and then you will have another set of small components, right? You have like the time ago component, a markdown component. I will give more details on these components right after this, but this is just so you can visualize how this works, right? So you create a number of components, like the like button will be a component, the markdown will be a component, the feed will be a component, and then the BOS will make it compose it into a single user interface. So this is more or less the ideas, right? So this is a list of pre-made components, right? And then you will comment your own, and you can put it, make it available. People will fork them, etc. So this is a non-exhaustive list of components. We will go through some of them. So let's go to, I think I have, okay. So these are some of this is that list. Let me get a little more zoom here. I will share the links here. So I will let's start with the list with the first one. There you will have a list to the components. This have all that you need. It's in the chat. So now let's see, for example, oh no, that's not what I'm looking for. That is a list of components. Let's start here. Okay, so for example, you have, let's start, this is a list. So let's start the basic widget. So as you see, this is a basic, React component. You specify some variables, and then you return HTML code. That's a very basic structure, and this is the most basic thing you can do here. For example, and if you see, and this is being rendered the way it will be rendered in your page, right? With the NEAR social use the same infrastructure, so it will be a similar experience, right? So if I change this for Boris from Anna from Boris, it will update right away, right? So this is the kind of components that you will. This is a very basic widget component that you will be able to code and deploy, and it will be display using the HTML the way you do it here, right? So this is the very basic. But then we have created, developers in NEAR have created some pre-made components that you can use. So you don't have to code them yourself. You have this one, for example, lets you to upload an image. This one is actually works. I don't know if I have an image I can upload here, but you can upload an image. This is actually working. And this is another component you just can compile and deploy, and it will be as part of your interface. So you like in this format, the upload will be one of these components of your website, right? So then it's easy. For example, you can let's say you want to do it. Let's change something here. Never mind. So like here, basically, this uploads to IPFS, but you can probably change the link. You need to set up the CID, stuff like that. But this is completely custom to you can customize the HTML so it would show on your website the way you want it to show. Similar to the image uploader, this is the file uploader. It's the same, but it's set to upload images. And then we have a very useful one that is the Markdown, that basically understands Markdown syntax. So you can I don't know, let's create, like, you can change these, and it will understand the markdown list and stuff like that. So this one transforms markdown into something you can put on the screen. The overlay triggers, these help you to deal with this, the overlays on the components. Let me give you more zoom. Let me give you more space here, so you can see it. Is this better?
That looks a lot better, Boris.
Yeah, sorry about that. So
no worries.
So the overlay trigger basically has the code that you can. So here you can easily change. This is the measure overlay. Let's say you wanted to do it in Spanish. El mensaje del overlay. And so it will update immediately, right? So this widget is also pre-done. It's very easy to use. So the infinite scroll, basically this one, you add as many, it will scroll the same size of the array you set up. It's very simple to use. This one creates an array of numbers. You see, equal to 89 to, you have 90 right now. You can do this, I don't know, to 300, and then let's do 200. It should make now it goes to 200 elements, stuff like that. So this is basically, it's a way you can expand the scroll based on the content you have. It's already done. You just need to, it's ready. So then, like this, you have. I forgot. I have to do the zoom. So like this, you have multiple components that are pre-made for you, and you can add or modify as you wish. But then we have the style. This one is important. It lets you integrate the CSS to your code. Basically, you can, for example, the primary. Let's change the color of the primary. I don't know. Let's change from light to blue. So it changed like this. So basically, yeah, this is basically what this widget allows you to do. But then the question is, I mean, you have this. What exactly you do, right? How do you deploy this to your component, right? So let's do the quick start here, and I can show you here. So there is the way to. I mean, let's do. I will run through this, and then I show you in the code. Basically, this is the basic component. The one we saw is just have a great day. So you can do these two ways. You can create you can go to an online IDE. In the online IDE, basically you will have to create an account, link an account to your NEAR account, to your online IDE, and then you change you code here. This is your IDE. And from here, you can, let me create a new one. Let's create a new one, new component. Encode. I don't know if this is large enough. Let me give more zoom here. Encode hackathon. Encode hackathon. Then this is a basic, Then yeah, let's change the name. Where is it? Where is it? Okay, so let's go and encode widget, then confirm. Then I think I need to zoom out a little. Okay, so now you have another name, and then from here you can go ahead here and you can publish it, right? So let's publish it. To publish, you need to start. It will ask you to. This is where you have to have a NEAR wallet, right? It will get some gas sometimes to publish stuff. Especially then later, if you have a bigger widget, it will charge you for storage, right? So basically, whatever you can do this, you can be a preview. You can open the component. The component is already in the blockchain. It will be a simple component. You see, it says Encode hackathon. So this is the basic let's say, flow to publish your components using the public IDE, right? And then there is another way to do this. That is the way I prefer to do it. I use the I don't want to launch it again. I use the VS Code, right? When you want to launch the VS Code, oh, let me do that so you can see it. So you go to the local IDE. It will tell you that you can use the VS Code extension. This is the one I use. Let me try to, okay, here. So this is the VS Code extension, and then it will, when you click here, when you install the extension, it's a standard VS Code extension installation. It will give you this. Here in the bottom left side, you will see that it says NEAR BOS. So for example, I would say I want, and all your components will be listed here. This one, I need to do, I don't know how to do. Okay, this will be an issue with the zoom part of this one, because this one doesn't zoom. But basically on the left side here, it will be, what you see is the list of the components you have. But I just created one, right? So I will tell them I will tell them to fetch the one I just created. It will ask me to log in. I can also bring it by name, but I just, I want to show this set. You basically log in with your wallet, and it will get you back to the Visual Studio. Okay, open, and you see the Encode widget is here. And now I can go ahead and do all the changes I want here, and go to a widget update. So I'm changing the widget here. I'm saving it, and then I just go ahead and publish it. So there we come back to the same. It will ask me for some gas, and the fees for approve it is usually very low fees, and then that's it. Open. So I go to where's the IDE here. So if let me try. So if I go to open component, you will see it should be updated here. You see, updated widget. So that's the way you can actually do it when you do it on VS Code. I haven't used the other option. I'm using the VS Code, but they are similar in most of the sense. The main difference is if you want to use the online or you want to use the desktop. I can show you the other ones, but I think it's a matter of of taste, what you prefer to do, right? So the boss loader this is a CLI, sorry. So it basically is just a command line option to deploy your components. If you don't want to use it, you want to probably use some other, I don't know, text file editor, you can just deploy. And yeah, that's the loader is it gives you a preview of boss CLI, right? So this is basically the general infrastructure to deploy your components on NEAR, right? So there are other kind of components that you will find very useful. I will go through them because they are more complex. So this here, the thing gets a little more, complex. Is that when now, okay, I want to do this, how do I interact with the smart contracts, right? So to interact with smart contracts, you can basically you can interact with NEAR contracts. So basically, let me show you here. So there is a smart contract called hello NEAR examples.near here, and then you would basically you create a variable to define the contract, and then you use a NEAR view, and you call you're telling me here what you're telling me here. Use this contract, and you should know which function the contract has. And you said call the get written function of that contract. This is the parameters, and please, add that result into the HTML. So that's it's very simple. So basically, you deploy your smart contract. You should be able to invoke the contract from the widget, and you should basically set which function are you calling for that contract, and then you give them the parameters to that. that's the basic. That's basically the the process to call the smart contract in if the smart contract is in NEAR. So if you can see here, you can I mean, the thing is, so you can add, you can change this the state of the contract. So this the greeting is a variable. You can usually basically call a state of date. So you set the state in it. It's the same as you were interacting with the contract with Web3 interfaces, but you do it here. And you can update, and then you will change the value, and then you will call it, and it will be updated. So the point here is that you can use a standard, calls from React to interact with the smart contract in NEAR. And you can also do this as with Ethereum based events, right? Contracts is basically using Ether. What happened here? Okay, sorry. It's the okay. So if you're using Ether.js, if your contract is not in NEAR, you can basically you can use Ether.js, and then you will follow a similar syntax as you use Ether.js in your standard Web3 React components, right? So it uses the standard, you request the accounts. Basically, this one gives you the main account, and you to use that to the sender. So this example does it. You call the accounts. If there is an account sign up, it asks you to, it will tell you what the sender is. And with the sender, you can use standard sender transactions using Ether.js, right? It's a standard application, right? But in this case, if you don't have a sender, it will give you, you need to log in first. So let's do something here. Let's do this one, because this is the one that people has asked me for, is this one. So let's assume this is something I wanted to show. Let's assume you want to use this into your project. So this it was already done, but you just need to, you can see the source here, but you just want to fork it, right? So it will fork it into my workspace, right? So it will create it here. It didn't, I don't know why it didn't fork the right one. Never mind. So let's navigate to the component. So, okay, header. Okay. I don't know why it's not forking the right one. Never mind. So, but yeah, I don't know what it's what, but this is the general idea. If you are familiar with interacting with Ethereum contracts with Ether.js, is just the same. Basically, have some particularities, but it's basically the same. You just add that that's the same functionality you will use in any React component. You just use it here, and that way you can get your component to interact with non-NEAR contracts, as long as they can interact with Ether.js. So that's the other component I want to show you. I think I have only 7 more minutes. There's a very large example here. Let me see, because this is the Lido example. This is nice. I will try to go through this. It's a little long, but basically, this one is using a contract that is already deployed in Ethereum mainnet, and basically let you swap a contract. So as we can see here, you're just the same thing. It's a standard React component syntax, right? So we are getting the contract that is already in mainnet. You're given the address, and then you need the ABI. So you call it. You're pulling from some JSON file they created, and then you load it. You create you bring the ABI, then you need the APR, the information about the APR. So you have it, they have it here, you pull it, and you keep adding those into variables, and then you start adding the functions. For example, you can get the stake balance, and you can send ethers. And you see here, this is important because it's the same syntax as you will use in any React component. Basically, you are instantiating a new ethers component, ethers contract. You're given the contract, you're given the ABI, and you're given the signer. It's the same thing as you will do in React. Is using the same utilities that ethers has. The parse units is exactly the same. It's just pulling the same ethers library, so it's the same. And then you use the submit to send the transaction to the contract. So
Hi. Boris, can I just jump in quickly? Just to confirm, I believe you actually have 45 minutes for your presentation. So if you're feeling rushed, there's no worries. I believe you have 45-minute presentation, and then you can leave 15 minutes for questions at the end if people have them.
yeah, it's me that I don't have like the whole hour. Sorry. So but
okay.
I want to have at least 10 more, like 5 to 10 minutes to talk about the hackathon. So
yes, of course. I just wanted to double check.
Right. And this contract, I mean, this one is very long, so I can easily take 45 minutes talking just about this one. So I just wanted to talk about this this example because it uses a full interaction with an ethers contract using a standard ethers syntaxis of the. I mean, with ethers, I mean the ethers.js library, right? In case you are a little lost there. So it's I will try to. So and then it uses the same, and then they created a full, you know, page component so they can show. So let me show you how the components work, how it looks actually looks. So this is how it actually looks. So they did all this just in this component, right? So you can stake this CSS, this touch and feel is completely created in this part, right? Is this part, right? So you can just deploy your component and it should be look as good as this. So this is the main idea of BOS in not only as a front end, but as a visual front end, but as a front end that can run functional and effective Web3 decentralized applications, talking with any blockchain. I mean, I say any, but any blockchain that you can interact using ethers.js, and of course NEAR components, right? So I know the Rota team, they have one specific thing for if you deploy in Aurora, you can use ethers.js too. So this is what this component is all about. This have the if you want to like an entry point of more complex contract interaction, the Lido contract I think is the best. Is the one I used to learn when I just first joined. So it's very complete to and then let's see if they can let me okay there. So okay, so that's regarding deploying the applications. I think we went through enough about this, but basically let me explain this a little more. If you're using I'm trying this to look bigger. If you're using VS Code, I saw that they put the Jutsu widget too. I definitely suggest that you give it a look to the Jutsu with the Jutsu tools. Here you have 3 options. You can log in, or you can what's the name of this? It's called Hello Lido. What's the name of this? Let me see if I can get the name of this component. I don't know the name of this component, but here, let me go this. You can search for the name of the, if you know the name of the widget, you can just put it here and it would pull it for you. You don't have to own the component to actually get it, to pull it, to fork it into your, you see, I don't know what's the name. I thought it was marked down. I think I got the right name. Account widget. I know it would show. Oh yes, show you only. It would show you only the ones in my account. But you can pull it there, or you can just ask them to pull all of them. Right here, you pull all of them. Here, you pull the ones in your account, and then you just can start coding here. And then here at the top, you can publish them in this small thing here. You can see it, and then you can see a preview right here. This is really cool. You can see that any update here. You need to publish. Yeah, you have to publish. You have to publish first, and then it will get the update. So that's about the Visual Studio um, plugin. So I think it covered the basics of what the BOS. If you want to launch to jump into BOS and develop it into BOS, how I saw this at the beginning is I was basically doing the same I was doing with React components. I just used the BOS interfaces or the plugin to deploy it, to code it and deploy it. Right? They are very useful. The the preview part is really helpful. It's really helpful. So you can, and you have all the integration. You can publish from here. You can definitely do whatever all that you want to achieve. You can do it from the online. I personally prefer the desktop version, but that's a personal thing. Or you can go to other tools that the one that Jutsu has, or the other, or the CLI tool. Is up to you. In general terms, is just React code, and that is being pushed, and so the BOS component can compose it and show it. You will need to pay some fees to storage to store the code, but still you will find it's very convenient. You having a front end in decentralized way, no one can censor you. Is long-term cost. I'm sure they are lower than going to Vercel, so, or something like that. And yeah, that's great. Now about design these applications, what you should be doing and how to think about this. I think is also an important thing to address. Right? So the principle we were trying to encourage is try to write widgets that people can fork, right? So widgets by this kind of modularized code it benefits the community if it's something that is close and is modular. So we will suggest that you write components that can be easily forked by the community. And at the end, it's basic, software engineering basics. So do code software that you can reuse, and probably if you make your application very modular, you should be able to reuse these components yourself in future code. So that would be the first principle I suggest. Write widgets that people can fork. Write widget that you can reuse. Then there are other people doing the widgets too. So if you are about to start doing something, this is more hackathon wise thing. If you're trying to do this, and you are doing part of your application that you think that probably someone else already done, look for it. That probably you will find it, and you just need to fork them, and you just incorporate it. You don't have to code it. Like, again, if you want to interact with a contract, probably you just need to fork one of the Ether.js many widgets that are available. If you want to do the upload, there is the one I showed about uploading. So that's another principle I will suggest in terms of the hackathon. Try to find whatever widgets you think you may already being developed, and don't look at them, modify them, but not necessarily you need to start from scratch, especially if there is some kind of complex integration like with the smart contracts and stuff like that. And then of course you can use this in any in Ethereum blockchain, but definitely I would consider try to deploy your contracts in NEAR. You will find the benefits of going with the lowest fees and the speed, but try to think about, for the hackathon, to reduce the amount of complexity so you can deliver on time. So probably try to make it near contracts. That's another thing I would suggest. And then try to find to create applications that are that that are not very common in the NEAR ecosystem. First, for the hackathon, this is hackathon wise, right? So there are many things that are being done, and many things are left to be done. So try to look at it. If you don't have an idea, if you don't have a team, try to look at the things that are you probably think they are not available on the protocol already, and so you can show that why it's worth having them, and how you can do it using BOS. So that's the fourth concept I would want to bring here. Besides that, I mean we can go if you have some questions. I think it covered most of what I wanted to cover. We have the Discord channels, we have the people in the Telegram. So if you need more specific, there is so much content to cover that is impossible to cover in just less than an hour. But we're always open to help you. You can knock my door, or Owen's, or anyone there. We will happy to help you and try to make sure that you succeed on your blockchain, and not only on the technical side. If the coding side, of course, we can help. But if you have any question about if your idea needs some fine tuning, what do we think, you can always ping me, and I'm happy to give you my feedback. So yes, I think I covered all the points I wanted to cover.
Amazing. So do you want to open up the chat to questions then, or?
Yeah. If we can,
Yeah.
it'd be awesome.
Okay. It says someone here saying they have a very important question for you. So we can maybe get started with that. Okay, maybe let's keep the chat. Let's keep the chat appropriate, please. Thank you so much. But yeah, if anyone has any questions at this point, it'd be great if you can either put them in the chat or you can put them in the questions channel. Okay, so we have one from Stanislav saying, are there any examples of how to work with NEAR events on BOS? Or maybe there's another way of how to monitor changes in a contract state.
Can you repeat the question, sir?
Yes. So Stanislav asked, are there any examples of how to work with NEAR events on BOS? Or maybe there's another way to monitor changes in a contract state.
I know there is a way to I don't know if Owen have probably a link to that specific widget. I know there is a way to do it. I don't have it, but we can probably find you the link of a widget or a sample code and give it to you, and probably on the Discord. It's not on the standard widgets, and I don't have a sample code here, but we can definitely try to find the sample code. Do you know about that, Owen? Do you have
it was Stanislav who asked the question.
No, I was asking Owen because Owen also knows about this.
Oh, okay, right.
He has a widget at hand, but I think there is way. I'm sure there is way to track events. I will try to find it and get it published so you can get it. Oh, now I see where the questions are. I was looking at the chat. Yeah. Okay, yeah, we will answer on the Discord because I don't have the code at hand, but I'm sure it's possible, and it's probably not that trivial to do it, but it's possible. But we'll try to help you that, because definitely that's something that you can many people will use, and if it's not a simple widget, I will try to rewrite it as something that everyone can reuse. But I will make sure that you can follow up with Owen and myself in the Discord. Great question, by the way.
Okay, amazing. Next question is from Oliver. He says, what about import.js libraries on BOS? Is it better code functionality in the self component, or better use libraries already implemented?
Well, the thing is, you will be charged by storage. So there, it's a balance there. If you bring a component that is too big, and it's not adding like a lot of functionality, I will try to do it, myself locally. But it's something too complex, and probably you want to use something that already exists. I think it's a balance. It will depend on your application, and their application, what you're trying to do, what you're trying to achieve. So yeah, it's hard to answer in decentralized because it's in this case, in this kind of application, the amount of code that you put, it increase the amount of storage. So if you're using that library a lot and it brings a lot of complex functionality, etc., um, I will import the library. But if it's something that probably you can simplify somewhere, somehow, or someone else doing it in another widget, or you can do it yourself, I will go that direction. But it will be, there is no definite answer. It will depend on what you're trying to achieve.
Okay, great. I just looked through the chat and Usama has asked, is this like a CDN, or do you deploy your components and reuse them?
Yes, I mean, once they are deployed, they will go to a like a marketplace kind of thing, and people will be able to bring in and fork them. Yeah, so they will stay there, and they will stay there forever once it's in the blockchain, right? So the code will be there. So it's not a CDN only. It has some CDN-like functionality, but because the boss also does the components and create the HTML layer so they can be displayed on the browser, right? So once you do the if you the when you click where is it? When you click deploy here, where is it? Oh, when you click publish here, it will deploy directly to the blockchain. Once you push there, that component is going into the blockchain. So there is no way back from there. So yeah, so it has some, as an answer, it has some CDN kind of functionalities using IPFS. But once they are published there, there is like a marketplace, and you will be able to. Let's go to discover here. You see, can you see my screen? You go to discover, and it says component. You go to components, and then you will see all the components that are being published by everyone, and you will see there is a lot of components right now, right? So you can just fork them or just copy paste or whatever. I suggest please fork them, but yeah, they are there for you to use. And once you publish, yours will be there, and everyone can use it. Everyone and anyone.
Amazing. Okay, just a reminder to ask any questions now if you have them. I'm going to leave a little bit more time so that the session, everyone can kind of put in any questions that they might have. Or if you think we've missed your question, then please put those in the chat now. I'm happy to revisit them.
Yeah, always, you can always go to Discord and Telegram and stuff or whatever, and we will make sure we have you an answer. And also, please, if not non-technical question, if you have help with your idea, please reach out to us. We want to help you succeed in the hackathon, and want to see you get those prizes.
Yeah, exactly. It would be bad if we didn't have any submissions. So yeah, James, I'll follow up and see if we can get any like past project examples, by the way. It's just not something I think we've done before, but yeah. All right, I'll leave it be a little bit longer just to see if any other questions come on in.
Yeah, I can stay, I know, five more minutes or something.
5 more minutes? Okay, great. So let's leave it for 5 more minutes then, and then. Oh, okay. Well, someone just volunteered to share an example from a past hackathon. That's very convenient. I'll keep that in mind.
Definitely go to the. I will. I don't know. I can paste here the Discover page, so you can.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah, you will see hundreds of examples there. Many people trying stuff, and they have these widgets are not, many of them are quite complex. You will see. I'm sure you will be able to get samples of most of the code you want to do. But in any case, we can always help you to find the right one or whatever.
Curated library of widgets. Beautiful. It's great to see everyone helping each other out.
Yeah. Also, I will make sure that I find a way to give the codes so you get some NEARs, and so you don't have to issues trying to get the NEARs for the gas and stuff like that. I will
Oh
right
yeah,
right
there was
after
someone
this.
who asked about that earlier, so that's great.
Yeah, right. Oh, that's yeah. Oh yeah. If you need a source of boss learning, definitely go to boss hacks. Banyan and boss hacks are always doing a great job on this, and they have I forgot that when I was doing my training for this, I saw a lot of their sample codes, so I will definitely recommend going to the boss hacks. They have a lot. The curation is really good. Oh, it's still freeze.
No, it doesn't look like it's frozen from my end.
Okay, no,
But
someone
if
said
anyone else,
that my screen is frozen, but I'm not sure.
yeah, no, I saw that as well.
Okay.
Oh, maybe just the camera.
Uh,
Okay. Well, no other questions have come in, but if anyone else has any further questions, then put them into the Discord and we'll try our best to answer them. In the meantime, I think we're just going to close it there, Boris. Is that all right with you? Boris?
yeah, it's yeah, perfect. Yeah.
Okay, brilliant. Well, with that in mind, I will see you. We have our next workshop tomorrow at 5:30 BST. I would love to see all of you there. And then in the meantime, have a nice rest of your day or evening. Cheers,
Okay.
everybody. Thank
Thank
you
you
so
very
much
much.
again, Boris.
Bye.